you all to this very niche program produced and conceptualized by Rajasthan Parishad, and the name of this program is Meet the Icon. Rajasthan Parishad is a 45-year-old organization which has a lot of initiatives in medical field, education field, and also bringing together society. And to take forward this initiative, we have conceptualized this program by the name Meet the Icon. The agenda, the reason why we have come up with this program is we wanted to meet people who have been successful in their life. And why we wanted to meet them is to get inspired by them. So, taking this initiative forward, we have a very well-known person amongst us who's a spine surgeon who has been practicing since the last 13 years, and currently he's placed at Bhagwan Mahavichan Hospital. He is none other than Sri Raghavendra Rao. Raghavendra ji, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
And I have with me President of Rajasthan Parishad, Sri Kamalji Thakir, my co-interviewer, Sri Anilji Dugad.
Hi.
And I have Sunilji Dugad,
Awesome.
who is the Vice President at Rajasthan Parishad, and myself, Vinay Baid, who is the project Vice Chairman of this particular program.
Sure.
And as I said earlier, the agenda, the reason behind organizing this program is to probably tell people who are watching this program about how they should get motivated in their life. People who come here, they must have gone through a lot of ups and downs in their life. They must have gone through a lot of struggles in their life. So when people who are watching this program, when they listen here to you, when they listen, they should also get inspired and they should also get motivated. So we are very pleased to have you here, Sri Raghavendra ji. The first question which I wanted to ask you is that you have been practicing since last 13 years. So how has been your experience so far? How has been journey so far?
See, at the outset, everyone has difficulties in life, right? So, basically, not everyone comes up in the easy way. Very few people come up in the easy way. So, everyone, I'm sure you are also of the experience that there are difficulties in life. But then the medical field is such that a smile on a painful patient after his pain is gone, or a smile, or a sense of gratitude that you notice in the patient's attender once his problem is solved. So that brings about a lot of relief to you, and that is the biggest motivating factor.
Absolutely.
Apart from that, medicine being a continuously evolving field, it is something where you can offer better and better things to people in trouble. So that is one of the biggest motivating factors. I think that's what motivates everyone in medical field.
Okay.
And medicine is also an imperfect science in the sense you don't have a rule-like solution for every problem.
Okay.
So you have to tailor the solution according to the patient's problem, patient's family, patient's social and economic profile. So everything has to be tailored according to it. You cannot give a thumb rule saying that this is how it is going to be. So that way it is a very challenging and motivating field, yes.
So what was the motivating factor in your life when you took up this particular profession of?
See, at the age of 12, that's when we choose in India, right? Whether you become a doctor or an engineer. Not many things go through your mind by then. Either you are influenced by your parents, or you would have seen one of your relatives becoming a doctor. For me, my dad wanted to become a doctor. He couldn't. So he had told me that in the childhood. Maybe that's what pushed me. But then I had got an equally good opportunity in engineering and medical. So by God's grace and my hard work or whatever luck, so I was in a position to choose between best of both engineering and medicine, and I chose medicine. At that point of time, it was only a choice of some course. See, at 12th standard level, you don't think of profession, what are the satisfaction, what are the challenges, what is the money that comes in it. No. You just think you have to do this course and you have to become top in it.
Correct.
But after that, when we are doing our post-graduation, that's when the world really opens out to you. And then when you come to practice, you see that it is much more wider. See, that's what happens even in BE, right? You do a software, then you join a software company after computer science or electronics, and then your thing opens up. Similarly with a CA or anything, at that age, it just opens up once you come into profession. And the satisfaction that you get in a medical field is really high, to me at least. Yeah.
No, what you're saying is correct. Satisfaction has to be there. For example, I myself am a trainer and I have my fellow co-interviewer Anilji. We are into soft skill training and we go all over India training people. And the best part is the kind of satisfaction which you get, training people out there, and the kind of feedback which you get keeps you going. So as he rightly pointed out, satisfaction is something which is very, very important in any profession you take. One question which I wanted to ask you at this particular point of time is that as a doctor, you're always in public glare. There's a lot of interaction which happens with public, and somehow the family part gets sacrificed. So how do you balance that?
That's a very good question for which the answer is very challenging.
Okay.
Most doctors are either bound to work long hours, either by pressure of patients or financial pressures or some other passion. Nowadays, more and more doctors are realizing that the importance that should be given to a family life and your own free time is very important. Life is not just about profession.
Correct.
It's about leading a healthy life along with your children. Because at the age of 60, if you look back, you would have missed the growing up of your children. You would have missed the changes that has happened. And after they attain around 15-20 years, they don't engage with you as much as they do as when they are kids. Right? So I myself, I don't practice beyond 5 o'clock. I am home at 4:45, 5.
That's good.
In our department of spine surgery, all three of us, there are 3 spine surgeons, all of us go back home at 4:45, 5, and we start at around 7 o'clock in the morning. We don't work on Sundays. Sundays is a complete off. Saturdays, yes, 3:45, 4 we leave. So in that way, we are able to give time to ourselves for some physical activity in the morning, to take care of our needs of our children and family. And more than the needs, it's a fun to watch them grow up. It's a fun to be associated with them. And at the end of the day, life is about living completely.
What you're saying is correct. Can we have a big round of applause for him? He has rightly and correctly pointed out that it's very important to have work-life balance, and that is something which is very much required. So Anilji, you wanted to ask him something?
Yeah.
No, one thing as you are telling that it's a hard work as well as like you are a doctor, so time is not you have to go in night also, sometime in morning, early morning and all those things. So one thing which you want to, suppose if it is given that you got a time machine and you want to change something of your life, so what would you like to change?
Frankly, there's nothing much I want to change. It's been a real pleasure right till now. The only thing I would like to say is let this continue like this, and let us get an opportunity to help more and more people come out of their troubles. At the end of the day, what matters most is how much satisfied you are at whatever you are doing. You might be treating 100 patients per day, or you might be treating 10 patients per day, or you might be somewhere in between. But if you are satisfied with what you are doing, I think that is the key to thing. Rest of it are all a side effect of this work satisfaction. So this work satisfaction actually carries on into your house, and you have a more healthier family life if you have a good work satisfaction. And the more healthier a family life you have, the more your work satisfaction comes, because you are able to work more freely here. So it's dependent on each other. So once you get that, I think it sounds philosophical at my age, but then once you get that, it's really nice. But frankly speaking, I'm not in a desire to change anything that I have right now.
It's not about your age, it's about your very good experience. I can say that you got this mantra in this early age basically, and you are managing well.
No, all this is thanks to my fellow colleagues at Department of Spine Surgery in Bhagwan Mahavir Jain Hospital. All three of us had early decided that we will not do any work after 5 o'clock, to spend some time with our near and dear ones. And if we maintain a good physical health because we have time, that reflects well on our life also.
Not only life, even while treating to the
Yes.
patients also, it will
Yes,
going
yes.
to be.
So we can do more work in a shorter span of time.
Very, very true.
One thing which I wanted to ask you, the moment I heard about you are a spine surgeon, and I saw people coming to you with seeking a lot of advice. Has the incidence of people their over the years, how has this changed? A lot of people having spine problem, and is it because of lifestyle issues?
Definitely. There are two components to this. One is the change in lifestyle. As I was telling him earlier, people used to have restricted work hours and they used to spend more time on their physical and mental and spiritual health. I think that is somewhere compromised now because of the need to put in more work. So, and that leads to some amount of disrespect to our body. We don't respect it. Then that leads to problems. These are all problems of lifestyle. The second aspect is technology in the diagnosis of problems has increased.
Okay.
And it has advanced so much that nowadays it is possible to diagnose most of the things and at an early stage. So this has led to a better life expectancy.
Okay.
So better life expectancy means you need to be fit till the end of your life. Because there is a nuclear family, there is no one to look after you if you become dependent on someone. So in that case, what we need to do is we have to balance the lifestyle, get treated early and lead a healthy life and independent life till the last day. That has become the motto of most of the people. Still, there are a lot of people who are ignorant about this. I think they need to be made aware of it.
Okay. So
I don't blame them. It is the pressure of the environment. But then we have to set our priorities right.
Absolutely. So what you're saying is absolutely correct. That health. So all those who are watching this particular program, a very important message which Sri Raghavendra ji has given to us is health should always be our priority. So our mantra to good health should be prevention is better than cure. So technically, when we what happens is that when we go to the surgeon to seek cure for the element which we have, how much emphasis should be there on prevention?
A lot. See, for example, in the field that I work, spine surgery, nearly 100% of people would have had one episode of back pain at least once in their life, right? In 90% or 80% of the people, it gets better in a week or 2 weeks or something. In the remaining, it becomes a chronic problem that is a long duration problem. This leads to decrease in productivity, increase in leave absence from work, and decrease in the social and physical and mental quality of life. So you start to become a burden on the society and the family. And then this leads to a lot of medical expenditure. The average American spine expenditure, back pain spine expenditure for America is around $20 billion a year. It's a huge expenditure, right? So I'm sure it must be much more than that in India.
Absolutely.
I mean, at least, if not, at least that much. Because we are a bigger country with more. I'm not just telling medical expenditure, we also have to calculate the loss of income from their loss of productivity. So the more we prevent such problems, the more we are able to become a productive society. And you are productive to the family also. So prevention plays a very key role in these things. But at the same time, detection of these problems at the early stage and bringing the patient back to normalcy with adequate rehab, physiotherapy plays a very important part. So the more the patient starts to feel that I am diseased, the less is the chance that he'll go back to work.
One more question which I wanted to ask you is that what kind of research is going into this globally when it comes to spine care?
Lot of research is going into, but it's still a very early stage about how to decrease the degeneration of the spine and how to have better techniques of operating and newer medications and newer concepts in physiotherapy, rehabilitation. But all of them primarily aim at bringing back a diseased individual to a normal state. But research is going on in preventive techniques also with respect to disc degeneration, but that's at a very, very, very early stage, I would say.
Another question, which is coming to my mind, and I wanted to ask you is, how important is religion? For example, when we talk about religion, one thing which all the religion teaches is discipline, leading a disciplined life. For example, in our Jainism, eating before sunset is something which we give a lot of importance. So, religion and medical field, does it goes hand in hand?
Yes. See, as I told before, health is not absence of disease. Health is a positive sentiment. Health is a positive feeling. It's actually defined as a physical, mental, social and spiritual well-being. So, physical and mental medical science will partially take care of it. Physical, so fully can take care, and your activities, spare 1 hour per day for exercises. So that will take care of your physical health and taking good health checkups or taking care of your health. Partially, mental health can be taken care of by certain medications and certain supplements if you have a problem with medicine. But religion helps in the other things. How you socially integrate with your society, how you have mental satisfaction. There are many patients who say, sir, I have done all the exercises that you have asked. I spare 1 hour every day. I lead a good work-life balance, but still I am having problems, stress. So that stress, I think somewhere, I wouldn't say religion is the only method to beat that stress, but religion plays a very important role. As you said, certain amount of discipline is brought in, but then we have to temper it with, when there is a contradiction between known scientific fact and rule in religion, we have to balance where to take what. We need not blindly follow a religious rule which has been established before the advent of science. At the same time, we cannot disregard everything that religion says, saying that it's only religion and not scientific. There are certain things which are beyond science. We can follow it as long as they don't harm you. And then it brings about a sense of discipline in the individual. Yes.
And my personal take on this is that the synergy between religion and medical field would be great.
Yes.
For example, in Jainism, we have these Bhaktambar Sutras, and we have mantras also. And, but somehow I feel that we have not been able to harness.
Yeah. Another example is yoga.
Yoga.
See, yoga is ancient science which was a part of our religion. If you see the Bhagavad Gita, it is immensely quoted in various places that yoga. Yoga has come to become construed as a physical exercise, postures and stretching. It's more than that.
Correct.
Yoga is how we carry out our daily life, knowing the principles according to what we have to do. So there are many such things which are even today relevant in our present life. It's only that we have to become aware of it, and it's only that we have to educate our children.
Correct. Anilji, you wanted to ask something?
I would like to know, your job is almost 24/7, which we have balanced, I can say, which is also a learning things for us. How about the contribution of your family, your parents, your wife, your children in your life?
Yes, 100%. So, man is a social animal, right? So, in isolation, everybody is nobody.
Yes.
Right? So, we are all something because of who are around us. Definitely the contribution of parents, definitely there is a contribution of wife, and definitely even there is a teaching which happens from the children. Child is the father of man. So there are many things which we learn from our kids. They teach us this you should not do, you should do like this. So there is an aspect of everything that contributes to a person. If you ask my wife, she'll also tell probably the same thing.
Ravinderji, it was a really great session, knowing a lot of things from you.
Thank you.
Is there a particular message which you wanted to give to youth, all those youths who are watching this program,
Yeah.
and you wanted to take up medical field especially? Is there a message you should want?
Yeah. See, basically on a jovial note, it's been a lot of philosophy, and I enjoy that. But coming to medical field, I think there are 2 or 3 things. One is if you want me to tell patients or patient population, then I would suggest that spare at least 1 hour of your day. The rest 23 hours you can do whatever you want. 1 hour in a day you spare for your own physical health. Some exercise, yoga, pranayam, meditation, walking, running, jogging, sports, whatever interests you to keep yourself physically fit. Because only when you are physically fit that you can contribute to the society and to yourself. 2, regarding your question to people who want to follow medical field, it's a long ride, get ready for it. It's not a short ride, it's a marathon race, but at the end of it, it's a very satisfying race, and it's about participation rather than coming first. So we all come first with respect to our patients, but then it's a nice run, and if you're ready for that, it's very satisfying. Just set your priorities right and jump into it.
I think he deserves a big round of applause.
Thank you.
It's a very important message which he has passed to everyone, is that take care of your health. Whatever passion you follow, whatever profession you are into, something which you should never compromise is health. So on this sweet note, I think we had a very good session. We would like to thank you for coming here.
My
spending
pleasure.
your time.
My pleasure.
On behalf of Rajasthan Parishad, a big thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.